In recent years, there's been an increase in the number of companies that have used employee credit checks when hiring new employees. The company believes that by looking at the applicant's past credit history, it can help them determine if that employee is going to be hardworking, responsible, and trustworthy, or if they're going to be lazy and more of a liability to the company than an asset. So overall, the company is trying to reduce their risk by filtering out the bad employees or the bad applicants and keeping the good ones. But the question here is the practice of employee credit checks really helping towards that goal of only having the best employees? Or is there a more effective way, a more reliable way of going about this? In my opinion, the credit checks are not effective or reliable for a number of reasons, and there are other ways that are much more effective. So first off, reducing risks is the responsibility of all companies. You have to make sure you go through every step possible to make sure that you get the employee that best fits the job they're applying for, and they are the best fit overall for the company structure. But when the company blindly judges and potentially disqualifies some applicants based on their credit history, that's not really a good practice for them. It doesn't make much sense. It's not really fair, mainly because there are a lot of other reasons for people having bad credit besides from them being lazy, or from them being financially irresponsible, or from them being bad employees. These reasons could be, remember back in 2007 when we had the financial crisis, and there were thousands, tens of thousands of people who lost their jobs. They got laid off, and they had no income, they had no jobs, and this negatively affected their credit. So here you have extremely highly skilled and highly qualified workers who, because of something they cannot control, they lost their jobs and were in a tough situation in their lives. So imagine if these people who, again, are highly skilled, highly qualified, went to go apply for a new job, and the employer looked at their credit history, saw that it has taken a hit, it wasn't very good, and disqualify them from the application process. That wouldn't make much sense, because one of those employees could have potentially been a great fit for the job, done a fantastic job in their position, but because of the company blindly judging them and assuming that they would be not a good fit and a bad worker, they never had the opportunity to prove themselves. Another example of this is people who have outstanding medical bills. As we know, medical expenses can rack up and be very hard to pay off. And, if you had an illness or an injury and you couldn't pay off this medical bill immediately, this negatively affects your credit as well. And here you have somebody who was out of a job because of an injury, or and then they go apply for a job, they have this bad credit, and they don't get it. That's, again, something you can't control. Anybody could get sick or get injured, and this person could potentially, again, be a fantastic employee that does not get the job because of their credit for a reason they could not control. Another reason why credit checks are not effective is because credit reports are often inaccurate, which straight away proves they are not reliable and should not be used as a valid way of picking employees. And my final reason is that credit checks do not decrease unemployment. They actually negatively affect unemployment, because if you have bad credit, you have often been unemployed for quite some time. And if every time you go to apply for a job, and you don't get it because they use the companies use credit checks. And today, I believe about 40 to 60% of companies use credit checks, so quite a bit. And if one of these companies disqualifies them because of their credit history, that has an adverse effect on the whole, unemployment percentage and the number of people in the workforce. So, I believe the way to fix this is to just get rid of credit checks altogether and use interviews. Don't even look at their credit, and if their resume is good, bring them in for an interview, the good old-fashioned way, a face-to-face interaction. And if you set up a good interview, have good interview questions, you can see the character of that person, you can see their work potential, you can pretty much judge a lot better than a credit check if they're going to be a good fit for your company. So those are my reasons. I don't believe credit checks are good, and I believe they should be eliminated completely. So I'll leave my sources in the description of the video. There you go. There you have it. Thank you. Have a nice day.